We're okay. I think it's recording now, so
All right, sounds good.
cool. We're good. So this case was the Dropbox case. Kind of interesting one. I actually really like read, but it was pretty interesting, I thought.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, it was.
So which questions did we have to go over? I'm trying to remember which ones.
So I saw 4 of them. How much revenue does Dropbox have? How profitable is Dropbox? Is this a problem, yes or no? And then should Dropbox develop a professional version to attract more valuable customers?
Those
are
ones.
Are those the 4 we're supposed to do?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
Yes, because the other 2 were the ones, the other 4 set of 4 questions were the ones that we needed to practice on to be ready for the discussion.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I should write them all down and I answer all of them, and I'm just like, crap, which ones were which? I need to get better at labeling those.
That was a lot.
Okay, so the first question, how much revenue does Dropbox have? Well, like right on page 9, it kind of basically says how much revenue they're making.
Yeah.
Of the document, right at the top, I think.
It says I saw 10 to 15 million.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I put for their revenue.
Yeah, it's between 10 to 15 million dollars, but that was just until mid-year, until June.
Right.
So, I mean, they're doing pretty good, pretty fast. I mean, within like 2 years, I think they had 4 million people is what I figured.
Yeah.
Which, that's pretty rapid growth.
Yes, they were growing very fast.
Yeah. I think that covers that question. How profitable is Dropbox? What did you guys do for this one?
So I kind of wrote out a lot of the information in Excel, and so I said 4 million users, 2 to 3% are paying customers. Number of paying customers were about 80,000 to 120,000. Number of free customers, 3.8 million to 3.9. And then they showed cost per free user and cost per paid customer.
Yeah.
So number of free customers would be roughly 3.9 million, and number of paid customers roughly 100,000. And so the cost for that for free customers is 429,000, and the paid customers 318,000. But obviously, that's not going to be the only cost that they have, because they obviously have to pay their employees, and along with probably building costs and stuff.
Yes, those where you mentioned are the variable costs. So the fixed costs are the employee costs, and they said on the question that we need to suppose that they are using around $150,000 per employee. So as I don't know if you both watched the video, they were making an example using Dropbox as well, stating that using around 20 employees and using that amount of 20 employees and spending $150,000 per employee, that's around $3 million. So if we go ahead and add on to the 7 millions you mentioned, what's the total variable costs you mentioned?
So those ones were, hold on real quick.
8.9 million dollars, right?
I think so, yeah.
That's per year.
That's per year. So if we divide a half year, so it's around $4.5 million. Then it's spending 1.5 million on employees if we do this for 6 months period. So we come up with a total of $6 million on fixed and variable costs. So if we do this math using the $10 million, they are making a profitable amount of around $4 million in half a year.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think they're doing all right. I'll show you what I did real quick. Share my screen. If you guys can see it. So right there, I had like the 100,000 users, or yeah, 100,000 users that pay the $318 a month. So the cost per month for those users was 318,000, just like you were doing, Kevin, and the 429,000, and then the 150,000 per employee per 25 employees was 3 million per month, or no, 3 million per year, 3.75, and then my total cost per year was 12.65 million, and it said their annual was estimated between 10 to 15 million. So I mean, I put that they're probably profitable, but we really just don't know, I guess.
So, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know, did it mention the 10 to 15 million? Was it, because it was obviously, sounds like there's some people who made some estimates. It wasn't coming from Dropbox. It was like somebody on the outside of Dropbox looking in and assuming that this is how much they made. Were they saying for that year, or was it the half year? Because if it was for that year, then they wouldn't be profitable, right?
Yeah, so it says right here, analysts estimated that 2 to 3% of Dropbox users were paying customers, which implied $1 million annual revenue run rate in mid-2010. So even the $3.18 paid, or per paid user, and the 11 cents per free user, those are all estimates. Like literally everything that we have was all estimates by these analysts that took Dropbox and just kind of assumed the users are probably paying customers.
Right.
Because it says Dropbox did not publish financial results, but industry observers had attempted to calculate both its revenue and its data storage costs. So, I mean, it's all estimates, I guess.
Yes, it's because we don't have specifically in detailed amounts how much they were spending in every single area. Just for the employees was the specific amount we got. And also that was randomly, and generally speaking, for every single area, they were paying for, because that one was including, it says in here, for example, salaries, benefits, rent, legal fees, etc. So I think, as you just mentioned, Kyler, this is just an estimation, but just imagine it, 2 million, or roughly speaking, $3 million as a revenue per year. I don't know, what do you guys think about $3 million for managing a total of $15 million? I think having that rate, which is, I don't know, it's the 20 total revenue they're having, 20% is their revenue taken off all the costs. 20%, I think it's a good amount, but if they made some market strategies, they can improve it, because just at the beginning they were having that amount. It's good.
Yeah, I think they're doing pretty decent. It's just hard because, like, without them actually publishing their financials, you really don't know, because I said anywhere between 10 to 15 million. I mean, we figured costs were 12 million for the whole year. 10 million, we're looking at a $2 million loss, which would really stink.
Yeah, that is definitely tough, because they're not publishing this to us.
Yeah, but I feel like we did pretty good considering the circumstances and the data that we actually had.
I mean, with the data that we do have, it does look like they're making a profit, which is good.
Yeah.
Yes, that's just if we keep a percentage of 2 or 3% of all users haven't been as a paid users, because if the free users amount increase, that's not going to be profitable no more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So the next question, I guess we covered that pretty well, how profitable it's to maintain. Appear pretty profitable right now. The next question, is this a problem? Yes, no, why? Talk about both answers. Talking about the profit issue, if it is a profit or not. If it is profitable.
I mean, if it is profitable, that's good.
If we took $15 million, there is your profit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
Um,
one
Go ahead.
problem you might have to look out for, and it's kind of what you mentioned earlier, is that as they do add more free customers, they're going to start losing money, obviously, because they're going to have to spend money on those customers. So they'd almost have to lower the amount of storage that free users get, or up the amount that they charge premium customers. Maybe that goes for a little bit.
Even like the guy, the CEO of Dropbox, somewhere like he was talking about like a free system. I can't remember the word they use. The freemium. Yeah, freemium. Thank you, Kevin. Freemium. He was saying just has like you just got to give it to them free, and then you slowly just start taking away little pieces, and then you already have those customers. But if you just, like you were saying, up the prices for the paid users or decrease the amount of free storage, I mean, they're still getting it free and they're still happy, but as if it's a tiny difference, they're not going to care that much if they end up paying like $2 a month for an extra gig or two of that. Like just throwing out those little things here and there where you make sure you're making a profit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just they need to take care of the amount of free users they haven't, because in the video they said that they were managing 1% of paid customers out of 1 million customers. So by doing it and having an example of spending 5 cents of dollar per free user and also $3 for paid users, and also spending $150,000 per each of 20 employees, they are losing almost $1 million per year. So they need to find the equilibrium, having a good amount in percentage, at least 2 or 3% of paid users, so that way they come and steal some of their revenue at the end of the day. Because if not, they will start losing money. So they will start putting some restrictions on free users, so that will make them to lose. I mean, also paid users, I think.
Yeah. Another thing that was interesting was that when like one of the magazines or something in there said that the market growth was supposed, I think it was by 2010 or 2012 or 14 maybe, I think. I have it written down right there. But it was supposed to grow by 28% annually, go up to $2.5 billion by 2014. And the costs were dropping.
Yeah, I saw
storage, these cloud storages. So, I mean, if they're making money now, they're going to be dropping and the industry is going to keep growing. I mean, Dropbox should just continue to grow. They should do amazing. Like
that's true. I forgot about that. It did mention that the prices were going, or the costs were going down quite significantly.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a big deal for them.
Certainly, yes. Okay, so the last question says, should Dropbox develop a professional version to attract more valuable customers?
I said no. I said stick to their game plan, like stick to their original goal and just keep it like very user friendly, keep it general, because by doing so, it made them stand out, I think, a little bit more. Plus, they didn't have to run into other problems with having 2 different servers or 2 different softwares, trying to manage those and having costs go up and everything. So I thought it would be better for them just to keep it. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I was thinking because obviously they're still a really new company. So I was thinking maybe give it a year or 2 and then start working more on the premium side, keep the free side the same, use simple, and leave that. But the premium stuff, start changing that and adding things and adding more features that some of these businesses are looking for, because they have the vote box thing. And so they should start kind of like listening to what some of the premium customers have to say. And then their free product, they just kind of leave alone. But I think they should give it a year or 2 before they start thinking about branching out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say yes and no, because still, as you both mentioned, they are new on this, and they should. I mean, still they need to grow and get a good position in the market, because just verifying the ranking they got a good ranking, but in some other polls they were not getting a good or even a place in that ranking, because the other storages programs, they were having some professional versions in order to target a different market. So since they are starting right now, I would say at this time just keep like it is. But once you have a good position and a good ranking in a general market, they can start thinking about a professional version, so they can target even a higher market, so that way they can rank it better, so they can maybe improve and increase their cost, because ranking is what they're making their cost to go up or able to increase, so that way they're able to make a better profit. But just at this time, no, but in the future, yes.
Yeah, that's true. I remember that now, how they were like with the SMB, or the small medium business ranking, like they weren't even on the chart for that.
Yes.
Yeah. Or at the top 25 at least. So that's true. Targeting, coming out with an elite thing would actually probably help them at top 25 for that, because right now, like, they're not even targeting small businesses. It's more like personal use, or like business use for personal business people.
Yes.
So
If
yeah,
they want
that's
to market a
true.
higher market.
Cool. Should we just do a quick summary then?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Cool. So let's go over all the questions again real quick, and I'll put in the timestamp so that they can be when our summary starts.
Okay. So generally talking, if we pick $15 million, Dropbox, that's making a revenue of around $3 million per year.
Yeah. So I mean, once again, those are estimates, but
Estimations, yes.
I mean, for the data we have, it looks like they could be pretty profitable. But I mean, if they're only making 10 million per year, then you're looking at about a $2 million loss. So it could be kind of difficult, but it does appear that they are profitable right now.
Correct.
And then, is this a problem? Yes or no? I mean, if they're profitable, it's great. Not a problem at all.
Correct. Just they need to maintain a good average and how many free users they are allowing their company to have, so that they cannot mess up with their business, not having a lot of free users more than what they are able to pay for.
Yeah. And I think even if they aren't profitable right now, I know the market's supposed to grow like 28% annually, and costs are supposed to be dropping significantly. I mean, even if they are at a loss right now, I would say stay in it for another year, see if you can get more people in the paid section, and see if costs are going to go down, and see if you can actually become profitable, and try and wait it out.
Yeah, and it shows that they're number 6 overall compared to their competitors, which is really good for how new they are.
Yeah, especially coming into the industry pretty late on this too.
Yeah.
Okay, and for the last questions, we conclude that at this time, since they are just in a startup for this company, to state them like they are right now, but in the future to think about a professional version, so they can target even a higher and more expensive market actually.
Yeah, I think like we were saying, I mean, at first I was saying just don't even do it at all. But now I think I'm leaning more towards wait it out, maybe give it another year or 2 or 3, and then start toying with the idea of coming out with an elite, business-friendly Dropbox or something like that.
Yeah.
Not to lose what they have, just to improve it.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, I think that covers it for now. I'm going to hurry and just end the recording. So I'll just put this I'll send you guys both the links so that you can have that to put into like the post poll
Okay.
discussion thing.
And the time, so we can put that in there as well.
Yeah, I'll send that to you. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording now.